Hi there, third graders. I have your lesson for you for this week, and it has to do with the color wheel and what colors, primary colors, go together and create secondary colors. And it's also, by the way, the order of the rainbow colors. So we are going to design a car of your choice. You get to be a car designer today, but the wheels on the car are going to be art and going to be the color wheel. So what you can do is, I have my paper horizontal, and I grabbed a couple of little lids that are big enough to trace on here for the wheels on your color wheel car. And your car is going to be seen from the side instead of at an angle if you want, and so you only see one side of it. But if you want a car that's going to have 3 wheels on it, that's fine too, because you're going to design whatever kind of car that you want to. But the wheels, remember, belong to the art department. So we are going to draw the ground where the car is sitting, and I'm just going to do a really quick, crazy car sketch. You can have a heart car, a clown car, a rainbow car, monster truck car, whatever you want to design. So I want you to be aware that that is a art job that you could get one day if you like to design cars. I know that cars are designed on computer now, but they all start from inside your brain. That's where they all start. So that's where the idea starts, and then they transfer them now to computers. And of course, if you get to work for one of the big car companies, of course you'll make pretty good money, I would say. But anyway, this is design whatever kind of car you want. You can color it with whatever art supplies you have. I'm not going to finish mine, but I am going to show you how to do the wheels on it. So they are the color wheel car, and it's also letting you know why the rainbow is in the order that it is, and what primary colors go together to create your secondary colors. So after you draw your crazy car of choice, and it can be decorative however you want to, grab a ruler, and we're going to divide these wheels into 6 parts. And you need to draw 3 lines to divide your color wheel into 6 parts. So the first line is going to be a vertical line inside your circle, and then straight vertical line up and down, and then, or you could do horizontal, but that's okay. Then draw an X inside there. Let them crisscross at the center. And you should have 6 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3 lines create 6 parts. So it's a little bit of math. It's like 3 times 2 is 6. So if we did 4 lines, it would be 8, because 2 times 4 is 8. So I have divided my color wheel car into 6 parts. Since I'm going to be using watercolor, I'm going to get a black crayon and trace the color wheel lines. If you're using watercolor, the wax in the crayons create a barrier to keep the watercolor from mixing so badly. But sometimes it doesn't hold it back enough, and it's hard to trace underneath this table that I've got your stuff sitting on, or the video camera sitting on. So I have traced that to help the color wheel watercolor stay in position so it doesn't run into each other. So what we'll do, I want you to think about the rainbow. The rainbow is in order: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple, or violet. Some people call it violet. But you got to remember, when you're looking at the colors of the rainbow, and I'll talk to you about this as I'm painting the wheels. When you start with the rainbow or the color wheel, it doesn't matter which one of these sections that you start in, just as long as you have it in order. And that will help you to remember what colors mix together to make certain colors. And you always start with the primary colors. Also, if you're interested in, getting some paint, the Dollar Tree has really good paint, acrylic paint. I don't know about the tempera, but the acrylic is really good. If you're kind of low on cash or whatever, if you want to buy just red, yellow, blue, black, and white, you can make any color that you want with any of those colors. So I want you to think about color mixing. So you don't necessarily have to buy orange or buy green or buy purple. You can actually mix it and make it yourself. So if you're on a budget, that would be what I would do. And I actually do that. But anyway, I'm going to be using watercolor, and I'm going to be painting the color wheel in the order that it is in the rainbow. But I'm going to be talking about why they're in that order. Red is the primary color. It's also the first color in the rainbow. So I'm going to paint this section red. Okay. Now, this is kind of like a color sandwich is what I call it. If you look at the rainbow, you'll know you've got red, orange, and yellow. Well, red and yellow, which is going to go here, if I mix them together, it creates orange, which is going to be in between these two colors. So that's where I get the idea of a color sandwich. So I'm going to put yellow here. And if you think about it, red and yellow, which orange will go right here, is what red and yellow make. So if you have red and yellow, which are primary colors, you can mix them together and make orange. But since I'm just painting it straight out of the watercolor, that's okay. But if you're using crayons or whatever, you just got to get them in order. So now I'm going to think about the next color in the rainbow, which would be green. All right, and I do know that yellow and blue make green. And in order of the rainbow, it is red, orange, yellow, green, blue. So I know blue is going to go here. Oops, stuck it in the wrong one, guys. So I'm going to skip one and paint some blue right here, or color, whichever one you guys are doing. So that helps me think about the color sandwich. So we got yellow and blue, and if it's in the order of the rainbow, we know that green's in between, and yellow and blue make green. And it's in the order of the color of the rainbow, which is kind of neat. I hope you guys can see that pattern. So last, I know I've got red and blue, which is a primary color. It's the first color. No other colors. Red, yellow, and blue, by the way. There's no colors in the world, if you're mixing, that will make red, yellow, and blue. That's why they're the first colors, the primary colors. Like if you're in the first grade, you're in a primary grade. All right, so back to the color wheel. So red and blue, if I'm looking at the order of the rainbow, we know that this is going to be purple. And we also know that red and blue make purple or violet, whichever one you want to call it. And if it's in the rainbow, it's actually called indigo, which to me is kind of a blue-violet. But that's okay. That's a cool word to say, indigo. All right. And that's just another word for violet and purple. Okay. So there's my color wheel car that I've painted. I'm not going to paint this one, but as you see, I've got my color wheel in order and painted. And if you're, using color pencils, markers, or whatever at home, there you go. I hope you've got some watercolor. I don't know if the Dollar Tree sells watercolor. They might. I'm going to have to look next time I go. Because they got some really neat art supplies there for really cheap. And I know if you're on a budget like me, you want to save as much money as you can. But anyway, here is your color wheel car. And like I said, your car part up here, it's your car. You create whatever kind of car you want. Be as creative as you can think of. Like I said, I've had kids do a heart car, a house car, a rainbow car, a unicorn car. I've had Lamborghini cars, all kinds of cars that you can come up with. It gives you a chance to be creative and create whatever kind of car you want. So I hope you enjoy the color wheel car, and I will talk to you next time.